All right, so this has to be one of the funniest things I've seen on the internet this year. Fat Joe is called out mid-interview by Jadakiss. They're interviewing comedian Aries Spears, and Aries Spears compliments Fat Joe on one of his lyrics. He says,
one of the greatest lyrics from you that I loved was at that time when you said, "What's everybody so mad at the Southpaw? Switch up your style, switch to Southpaw."
Why is everybody so mad at the Southpaw? Change your style up, switch to Southpaw.
that was on the song Make It Rain featuring Lil Wayne. And Fat Joe is completely ready to accept all praise and accolades for this line.
Switch up your style, switch to Southpaw. I was thinking about that today.
And it is a good line. You know, what's everybody so mad at the South for? Change your style up, switch to Southpaw. It's a great line. It truly speaks to what was happening in hip hop at that moment, kind of in the mid to late 2000s, where the South, namely Atlanta, their sound was kind of taking over music. You had guys like Lil Wayne, T.I. leading the charge, and Jeezy also, and their trap sound was kind of changing the soundscape of hip hop. And a lot of people didn't like that. They liked the traditional sounds of the 90s, and it was quickly changing with the new guard being the South taking control. So the line is actually really potent. Like, why is everybody so mad at the South? The South is doing their thing. Y'all need to change your style up. Switch to Southpaw. So it's a boxing reference. Most people will box orthodox. It's a stance, left hand forward. Change your style, switch to Southpaw, you know, which is right hand forward. So it's actually a really dope line. But then Jadakiss stops this right in his tracks.
That was me, and he borrowed it. I was listening. That was my original. That's my line.
Jadakiss says, hey, enough of this BS. That's my line. Fat Joe took that line from me. He borrowed that line from me.
Hold on. That's my line. I borrowed it, everybody so mad at the Southpaw. Learn how to switch your style up and go Southpaw.
And Aries Spears is such a New York elitist, but he didn't even know this. That line originally comes from a Jadakiss song called Thug It Out, which features Swizz Beatz.
Fuck is everybody so mad at the Southpaw? Learn how to switch your style up and go Southpaw.
And yeah, it's almost word for word lifted by Fat Joe on the song Make It Rain.
Switch up your style, switch to Southpaw. I was thinking about that today.
That was me, and he borrowed it.
I gave you that shout out.
No, yeah.
On a super smash hit record.
Yeah.
At that time, everybody borrowed.
No, I didn't. I'm just making sure he got to know where it came from. I don't care about
All right, but
it being a bigger song. I just don't, you're not going to deprive me of being a part of it.
I just thought this was hilarious because even Aries Spears, he's kind of sitting there awkwardly like, Fat Joe, did you take that line? Like, what's going on here? And Fat Joe was fully about to accept it. Like, yeah, I was thinking about that line earlier. Man, I'm so dope. Fat Joe didn't even write the line. The guy who wrote the line is sitting right next to him, Jadakiss. And then Fat Joe tries to go on this whole diatribe about, hey, I know Jadakiss, you said the line first. I've shouted you out, but hey, it was on a hit record. That was my hit record. So Fat Joe's really trying to say, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song type beat.
You
I gave you that shout out.
No, yeah.
On a super smash hit record.
Yeah.
Fat Joe's really trying to lean on the fact that he said that line on a hit record, when in reality, that song, Make It Rain, was a hit record because of Lil Wayne on the hook.
I make it rain, I make it rain. Make it rain on them hoes, I make it rain, I make it rain.
It was a masterful hook, masterful beat. You could have put anybody on that song. You could have just put Wayne and no verses, just Wayne's hook in the beat. That still would have hit Billboard Hot 100 more than likely. So the fact that Fat Joe thinks, this is on my hit record and it was #1 because of me, it's complete nonsense. And again, this is coming from Fat Joe, someone who allegedly doesn't even write his own raps like that.
And for a person that doesn't write their own to try to judge someone that does, disqualification. You have to write your own rhymes. I don't know who's writing them now because TA is not writing them anymore. I don't think Armageddon and dudes like that, but somebody's writing them.
He kind of mentioned in the interview how he would tell his crew, the Digging in the Crates crew, which is a really dope underground hip hop collective. He would tell them, hey, I'm trying to be the star. I'm not trying to be underground. I'm trying to be a star. So, I mean, to Joe's credit, he did become a star. But I guess a part of that is getting your rhymes written and a bunch of other things that maybe you consider it hip hop, maybe you don't. But even when you listen to this song, Make It Rain, Fat Joe is biting other people on this song. There's a Jay-Z cadence that he bites on the song.
I'm a hustler, a pusher's pusher. You a buster, customer.
I'm a hustler, homie. You a customer crony.
There's a Young Dro flow that he bites on the song.
Oh, mama child, hit me with that shoulder lean.
Let your shoulder, hey, let your shoulder, just let your shoulder.
This kick, kill, crack, and I control a team.
And the thing that makes it even worse, Jadakiss is like, yeah, that's cool. But then he goes on to rap the actual bars, like the original bars.
Everybody so mad at the Southpaw. Learn how to switch your style up and go Southpaw.
Yo, Jada, let me tell you
say
something.
it, but you open your mouth for. Better reason for me to just open your scalp more. Woo!
And then Fat Joe goes on this whole monologue trying to explain the line.
According to the line, why you mad at the city? You got to switch to Southpaw. You know how many New York rappers was
Wish they could switch.
heated?
It's like, dude, you didn't even write it. Like, you're explaining the line to us like you wrote it. The man who wrote it is sitting next to you. Let's ask Jadakiss why he said that. What inspired him to say that? But Fat Joe just goes on this diatribe, like explaining the line, again, as if he wrote it or something. I mean, it's just hilarious, man. And then Aries Spears, being the hip hop purist that he is, after Fat Joe goes on this whole diatribe about why he said the line, even though he didn't write it, Aries Spears, being the hip hop purist that he is, then basically calls Fat Joe Elvis Presley to Jadakiss's Big Mama Thornton. If you don't understand his reference, Big Mama Thornton wrote the song You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, which is probably one of Elvis' biggest records.
You ain't nothing but a hound. You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
And Elvis is basically known, at least in the black community, for stealing a bunch of songs from black artists, and even the whole swag and style and how he did his whole shtick. It was basically what we had been doing. So Aries Spears basically loses all respect in this moment for Fat Joe and calls him Elvis Presley, a biter, to his face. This is crazy.
It's like you Elvis Presley did it, but he was Big Mama Thornton. I guess so. She wrote Nothing But a Hound Dog. And then Elvis took it and made it, you know.
Yeah.
But no, she's the real.
Some people call Fat Joe Capper of the Year. He's King Cap. I knew this would happen, bro. Fat Joe is just, it's crazy. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting moment. And it's a good moment for you guys to go and listen to that Jadakiss song, Thug It Out, Swizz Beatz. That's where the line comes from. What's everybody so mad at the South for? Change your style up, switch to Southpaw. So yeah, just another golden moment from Fat Joe on this podcast. Let me know what y'all think of this moment. And let me know, what's your favorite Jadakiss bar? Jadakiss got some bars, or maybe you're not familiar with Jadakiss. You can go listen to that song, Thug It Out. But it requires you to really like Swizz Beatz. If you're not a fan of Swizz Beatz' style, this song is dripping Swizz Beatz style. So if you're not a fan of that, I don't know how you're going to feel about that song. Thug It Out. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.